Welcome back everyone to Camp Cookout Adventures. We are just east of Merivale at Four Winds Car Park, headed north on Dartmoor, and we're going to have a really icy cold night's camp up on Great Mist Tor. I'm joined by my good friend Dan today. He's come out for his first wild camp, fellow YouTuber. You can check out his YouTube channel at Approachable Active. So here we are. It is brutally cold, like seriously cold. We're all geared up with loads of thermal wear. We were looking over as we were driving up for ages, got white patches everywhere. It's like that cannot be ice or snow. But now we've got out the car, it definitely is. So yeah, join us for a night's camp. Let's do this, first one of the year. It is so nice to get out on Dartmoor again, and being at just the tail end of January, it is a bitterly cold time of year to be mooching up on the moors. It's a stunning day. It's just as we're elevated on these hillsides, you get a lot of this misty stuff. All of this terrain here really reminds me of a video game called Death Stranding, for all of you gamer nerds out there. One of Hideo Kojima's recent video games, the mastermind behind such things as Metal Gear Solid. You play as a chap called Sam Porter, and it's your objective to go across the wastes of the United States, which looks remarkably like Iceland, very much like this, with the intention of delivering things to isolated people. But essentially the name of the game is to not trip and fall over. So we're doing a little bit of Death Stranding hiking today. Right then, we are on the top of Great Mist Tor. There are a few campers out tonight. We found a little secluded spot which is a way away from anybody else camping. It's just good camping etiquette. Give people their space. You don't want to make it feel in the middle of nowhere like it's Piccadilly Circus and everybody's breathing down each other's necks. That is completely the wrong point for what you want to achieve when you want to come out and have a bit of time to yourself. The misty old miserly wind is coming in moderately from this here direction, so we've managed to find this nice level spot here which is kind of tucked away just behind this rocky outcrop. Hopefully that will keep the worst of the wind and the weather off of us if it does decide to pick up in the middle of the night. We've just taken our backpacks off, which both of them weigh about 25 kilos each, and I don't know if any of you 90s kids out there watched a series called Samurai Jack. I'm rewatching it at the moment with my daughters, and we saw an episode this morning, funny enough, which just springs into my mind. Taking off that massively heavy pack and you feel completely weightless. Jack goes through the jungle and finds this tribe of monkeys with this lost, abandoned, orphaned boy which has been raised by them, and they can jump really good. And when I say that, it means they can jump up to like the moon height. And Jack wants to train and find out how they get to jump so good. They literally just strap a bunch of boulders to all of his arms, his legs and his back, and he's got to just get used to it over months and months and months. So you never know, if we went wild camping day in day out for months at a time with big heavy packs, maybe we could jump to the moon. Or more realistically, we'd be in the old A&E unit looking for Elon Musk's Tesla kneecaps. So we just finished getting our little camp set up here. Dan's just finishing his guy lines. Dan's got the Van Gogh Hydra. Yeah, the Van Gogh Hydra 2 tonight, 2-man sleeper. And mine is the OEX Hyena. So Hydra and the Hyena. Fingers crossed our camper choice here is going to give us adequate shelter, take the worst of it off of us. We set up the little mouths of the tents facing each other for a little communal area. We're going to do some cooking. Got some amazing ingredients for tonight. Now, I'm a carnivore, and Daniel here is a morally justiced vegan. So he's going to make me feel exceptionally bad by cooking nothing but veggies while I'm eating oxtail of all things. So it'd be a bit of a cook-off as well later. It'd be very nice. Right then, we found a nice little rocky alcove which is way away from all the wind, and it's got these two relatively level platforms here for us to set up our little tranches. So Dan's got the kettle on the go. We need a cup of coffee, that's for sure. My meal tonight is going to be oxtail beef stew. So I've got two of these beautiful pieces of oxtail from the butcher's. I'm just going to razz a load of stuff in this here pot with a load of water and some stock and just leave it bubble for as long as it takes until we've got a big old soupy stewy pot of goodness. So we've got 2 pieces of oxtail beef, we've got a parsnip, a carrot, 2 red skin potatoes, stick of celery, a couple of the nice banana shallot onions, 2 cloves of garlic, and I've got some various tomato and herb stalks and beef stalks and a bit of horseradish and gravy and all the rest of it. Just going to chuck it all in a big pot, get it nice and tenderized over a long time, and it's going to be the perfect food to eat up here on a very cold night on the moors. God, I look like a dragon here. See the steam coming off my breath. It's so cold. So that's my menu tonight. What have you got on tonight, Dan?
Me? Well, I have got roasted space raiders, and I thought I might make a sauce out of these Rocky Road stick things, and then I'm gonna wash it all down with some scotch. So yeah, not quite as gourmet as yours, obviously, but still pretty classy.
Classic vegan diet. Perfect. There we have it. We've been sat up here stewing this here stew for about 2 hours, I reckon. And everything's just softened into this lovely soupy mixture. There's a really rich looking gravy, big old chunks of oxtail in there as well. Don't they look fabulous? Perfect. Just the remedy you need for a freezing cold night up on the moors. So we're going to tuck in.
That looks mighty good, or at least it does when it's like 3 degrees. So I'm going to tuck in and enjoy what I've managed to make on the side of a hill. Oh, yeah, that was so good.
To be fair, mate, that does look absolutely banging.
I'm going to enjoy that, and yeah, sit down, have a bit of a chat, and hopefully warm up a bit.
It's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort. Concentrate on what you're doing. Make the best of the situation that you can. Appreciate the spoils of all your effort, really, isn't it?
Well, there's a thing about that mindfulness, isn't it, that people talk about, but the focusing on something to the point where you're completely
immersed in
it,
yes.
Completely captivated by it.
Yes.
When there is something of that here,
yes.
Really getting into something and
there's nothing else.
No, and it
just
is
desolate.
a great experience, and I can see why you like this so much. Oh man, a meal tastes so much better when you've had to work for it.
Yeah, big time. Big time. A lot of effort went into this. We hauled this halfway up a mountain alongside all the rest of the stuff. If you work up quite an appetite. I gotta say, this is mighty delicious. I love using oxtail in stews. There's something about such a massive amount of marrow and collagen within the cup. It permeates all the sauce really well. It's delicious.
Mate, so what's the plan for 2025? Anything in the works with the old camping? I mean, you got any plans to do? You know, I don't know. I'm all enthralled about it now. We're not gonna like cut the days out on the moor and have a 2-day excursion or something?
Without a doubt, for sure. The plan will be great. I'd love to do a from north to south Dartmoor trip. Cover the whole thing. That'd be
really?
Great. Yeah, 3-day expedition from top to bottom.
Can you do it in 3 days?
I reckon, yeah.
Fantastic.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. We could have a decent crossover and
definitely
do it on both channels and come out and have a good bash at it for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'll be a proper
phenomenal fun.
Proper slog.
I might need to just adjust slightly some of my equipment. But yeah, I'd be well up for that.
Good. We'll just crack on and do it.
Damn it, he's got me another hobby.
Yeah. Anyway, what's for pudding? Rocky Road?
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road and Scotch.
Lush.
Good man.
Yeah, excellent.
It smelled insanely good.
Yeah, ransom.
Just make sure you wash the pot properly. You don't need foxes eating your tent and stuff. And more importantly, you don't need you blaming the cows.
Yeah, right. I've lit a cigar just to try and generate a little bit of warmth here. This is by far the coldest camp that we've gone on so far at Camp Cookout Adventures. That's not smoke coming off my breath from the cigar, that's just how cold it is. It is aggressively chilly. So I think most of my layers will be staying on tonight for just trying to get some warmth and some sleep going. I've got my Jura sleeping bag, a snug pack insulated blanket, and I'm also on a sleeping mat. But yeah, tonight's going to be a bit of a challenge to keep warm. It is going to be the worst getting up for a pee in the middle of the night. I'm telling you that now. Awful. I'm dreading it. But we've had a wonderful cookout. That oxtail stew really did an awful lot of good. It was a very warming and hearty meal, just perfect for these conditions. So at least I've got a little bit of central heating going on. We've had a couple of whiskies and a nice chat. So it's all about getting comfy and hunkering down for the night, trying to keep warm. Wish me luck. I'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Well, good morning. That was a bit of a savage night, if I'm fair. It wasn't exactly very comfortable. About 1 hour in, I realised that about 80% of my body's just actually on the floor because the sleeping mat's just completely deflated. So it was about 2 or 3 times over in the night, just re-inflating the sleeping mat to just half an hour to 45 minutes later, it going completely flat. So I have for most of the night slept pretty much just on the floor. It was biting cold. So I mean, clothes wise, I've got like thermal trousers on, I've got my waterproof hiking trousers on, and I've got these thick insulated waterproof dungarees. I've got a t-shirt, I've got insulated shirt, I've got a Patagonia fleece vest, and I've got this rain shell jacket, all wrapped up in that sleeping bag, not moving, still absolutely freezing. But you know, it's 8 o'clock in the morning now. It didn't feel like I slept at all, but my phone says I've had the best night's sleep I've had in the last 2 months. My body battery's charged up to 90%, where normally it's about 60, so I don't know what the hell that's about. Oh, it's a bit difficult to get motivated this morning, but we've got to pack down all of this stuff and get off this tour. So let's do it, I suppose. Normally we would be having a cup of coffee out, but it's so cold. I think me and Dan are just gonna get to the car and find a nice cafe and have a cup of coffee there. So with that motivation, let's do it. Oh, well, it's a real shame that none of that mist cleared up. You can't see anything at all. So much for our sunrise and so much for our good view, but yeah, it feels a little bit better actually being up and out of the tent. It was pretty brutal this morning.
We got something through, we got hypothermia.
You can't say you don't get anything from a camping outing, even if it's hypothermia. Excellent. That midnight pee is a savage one as well. Oh. Well, that's us, all packed up. One nice clean and tidy campsite, like we were never there. I just want to do a quick shout out to dear Sharon, who first time we went camping on Dartmoor took us up there. She gave us a Christmas present this year of these little electronic hand warmers. I tell you what, Sharon, you've saved my fingers this trip. It has been bitterly cold, and I've been hugging these little things all night. They've been absolutely brilliant. Little Cookout electric hand warmers, got 3 heat settings on them. I've had them on 3 the whole time. I've been cooking me mitts. It's been absolutely brilliant. Tucked them in my gloves there. So yeah, thanks very much. It's been a lifesaver. Another little bit of gear that I've got, which I've been trying out this time, which I'm absolutely delighted with the performance of it, is the 100-litre Snug Pack Bergen. I always use these old military surplus backpacks for all my stuff, which are really, really good, but they are a little bit old-fashioned, big and bulky and cumbersome. So I've used a lot of Snug Pack stuff before, and I thought, you know what, I'll get myself a proper hiking backpack with loads of room in it for all of my gadgets and my toys. And I've got so much stuff packed in here, and there's still loads and loads of room for other things. So yeah, Snug Pack 100-litre Bergen, lovely padded straps. It's got an aluminium reinforced cage on the inside which weighs nothing but keeps it rigid. Loads of cushioning everywhere, and you can load yourself up like a pack horse ready for a proper night's camp in any conditions. So we're going to head down from this misty mountain now and head back towards the car. Find ourselves a nice cafe with a well-deserved cup of coffee. Let's do it. This whole camping expedition this time has been very Silent Hill. This whole environment, it's really disorientating. I mean, you can only see, what, 50 yards ahead of you, I'd say, in any direction. And since leaving the tour, all you've got is this grassy, desolate plain. So it just looks the same. Literally looks like a PS1 era video game where it's got that mist because its computing couldn't manage the graphics at the time. It's just generating stuff within a little small radius of where you are. We're just approaching now Little Mist Tor, which is obviously the little sister of Great Mist Tor. And it's just that rocky outcrop right there. Kind of like the halfway mark between Four Winds Car Park and Great Mist Tor itself. A prequel of what's to come if you're on your way up there. In my head I've got this soundtrack of Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. In this kind of environment, that song just seems to fit it perfectly. Right on, Little Mist Tor. Assuming as this is Dan's first outing wild camping, I just wanted to check in with him on his experience and whether he enjoyed it or not, or whether he would do it again. So I think to start off with, how would you summarise your YouTube channel, Dan?
It's a feel-good activity channel. I hate this. I don't want to use fitness influencer. That's a bad thing. But often it's me doing activities and telling you why I do it,
yeah,
what I think it could do for you, and why I feel that anybody can get up and do anything they want to, but they have to get up and do it.
Absolutely.
It's all about positivity.
Yes. So Dan's channel is Approachable Active, and he has got quite a story to tell. So by all means go over and check it out, give him a subscribe and catch up with the dude. He's an interesting chap. So as far as wild camping goes, and a bit of hiking on the moor, what was your experience like in this?
It was cold. It was very cold. No, honestly, it was fantastic. Something I'd never done before.
Yeah.
Never could have done the hiking across the moors thing either.
Yeah.
And it's just something new. I'd give something new a try, and it's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I get a proper buzz
really
from
good.
it.
I have somewhat caught the gear bug. I see all your gizmos and toys, and I think, how cool is that? The little electric hand warmers, and, you know, it does. Yeah. I think I need to back off on my, you know, buying nice bikes and fancy running shoes to afford it, of course.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good for the bank account now, does it? However, blokes and toys, what can we say? It is a great hobby to have if you're really into collecting a bunch of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying go out and buy yourself a peg puller to pull up your tent pegs, but they do sell them.
I was surprised how little high-end stuff you needed though. You know, we got away with, I think that one of the tents you recommended, the Vango one I've got, you know, it's light, it was easy to pack up, it was easy to set up, 300-400 quid, and you could have a little setup that, well, we've just stayed out in, like, what was it last night, 3 degrees?
It was very cold, yeah, with the wind chill it feels like a lot colder. But yeah, gear is reasonable and available everywhere these days. One of the perks of the time we live in. Well, here we are back at Four Winds Car Park with the moorland ponies everywhere. We've just got below that mist line now, so we've got a bit of a horizon to see. It's a shame we didn't have that earlier, but so what did you think of the camping, Dan?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good. Definitely
Awesome.
want to do it again.
Excellent.
If you'll have me.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Well, next time we'll do a couple of day expedition over a few of the tours and have a couple of nights camp, which will be an interesting thing to pack for, make sure we've got everything we need. As a fellow adventurer on Camp Cookout Adventures, I'm going to award Dan one of our very special limited edition Camp Cookout Adventures sticker patches.
Amazing.
There you go, mate, you've earned it.
Straight at the back of the car. Fantastic.
There you go. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Thanks for coming along and watching the video. We'll see you again really soon. Cheers.